Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the sun in Virgo. This is a special card for you. This is all about the sort of attention to detail, right? Making sure everything's in the right place, making sure everything has what it needs, making sure everything is growing, the patience to attend to every aspect of your life, to every aspect of your family or your business or your whatever your friends, right? The job that you have, every aspect of your life is sort of attended to. And it may start to feel repetitive over time, okay? Sometimes this card is like, it's kind of telling us to just relax a little bit, you know? That we're putting in all this effort into everything, and we're doing everything. We're making sure that the garden has, water, soil, sunlight. And then you do that, well, then you don't just keep doing it. You get sort of restless, and I'm going to go water it again. No, we don't want to overwater. We don't need to be too attentive to everything, because we'll have an Eight of Wands or we'll have an Eight of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles. It's almost saying, just kind of back off and let everything grow, you know? Maybe this is a card that's saying, you got to be a little more lazy in your life right now. Like, this is a time to just kind of to try to understand the joy in laziness, right? Moderation, anyway. Allowing yourself the luxury of doing nothing, right? With no guilt. Maybe it's a well-earned reward, yeah, for how well something is doing right now. Because there's really nothing we need to do. We can just sit down. Let's say this is the garden. You just sit down on the grass and have a glass of lemonade and just watch it grow. You don't need to get up, oh, I got to get that weed. Oh, I got to go water it. No, just sit back, relax, and just let it do its thing. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, right? Context is everything. We have a Queen of Cups. We have an Ace of Cups. We have the pressure cooker, right? You've been in the pressure cooker. That's behind you, though. The Princess of Swords up above, and the Passion, the Strength card, the courage going forward. This might be a pause in the storm here. Okay, you might be getting a little bit of a break in the weather here before you got to go back and continue in your courage, right? Before you got to wake up and go back to the pressure cooker. This might be a period of time in between pressure cookers. This is the blacksmith's anvil back here. Well, right here, you got this really good water energy, even though your mind is having a difficult time relaxing. This is where your work is right now, centered on that Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is kind of just like understanding that you busted your butt and you made something happen, and you deserve this period of time where you can relax, right? This is that in the job, you get that 2-week vacation, right? At least that's what they always said, but I never took 2 weeks off from work. I don't know who was doing that, but this is kind of that idea where it's like you've earned your repose, at least for a time, right? And maybe it will be a couple of weeks that things slow down, and there's not as much that you need to focus on, right? That you can find ways to just say, you know what, that thing's working. I don't need to continue to meddle in that. There's a tendency to overdo it. That Eight of Pentacles is saying, I'm not an Eight of Wands. I'm not an Eight of Swords. You don't have to feel all antsy and restless like you've got to be busy. No, maybe it's just get busy doing nothing for a minute, okay? As much as you can, relatively speaking. Let's continue. You have the Chariot. Another Four of Cups, right? We have a Princess of Cups, and there's the Eight of Wands at the end. Yeah, I knew we'd get either the Eight of Wands or the Eight of Swords. Because this is like, hey, you got to get up and start taking care of everything and everybody again. But for a moment, maybe you don't. Take yourself out to a nice dinner with a book, savor your freedom and not needing anyone else either to kind of enjoy yourself, right? We have 1, 2, 3 Court cards, plus the Temperance card, plus the Chariot card. Yeah, I feel like you're a very busy person. There seems to be a lull in the activity right now where you might be able to just spend a little time on self-care. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with our very own Kelly Kapoor right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. Okay? It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay? Now, as we look around the room, we see three major arcana energies. The pressure cooker in the past, your courage and stamina and steadfastness, your tenacity, your bravery, and your power and moving forward in the very near future. Okay, and of course your general energy is the Chariot, the one who is devoted and committed and responsible for a great many things. Right now the Chariot's not moving though, is it? It seems to me like there's some downtime. This is kind of I'm kind of getting an idea that you're in the medical field or something adjacent to that. Some sort of you do something in life where you're sort of taking care of other people. Maybe this is like you're running a household. You're taking care of everybody, right? Or it's your job or your vocation is some sort of healing or medical stuff or spiritual healing, right? Or physical, mental, emotional healing, something along those lines. Because I feel like usually it's customers lined up out the door. It's like you're in the emergency room and it's like every shift is just like people just lined up out. It's constant. It's a constant chaos, right? But then you'll get those little moments where now I spent a little bit of time working in emergency rooms. You'll get those moments where there's nothing and nobody, it's just dead. It's just crickets, That's this moment because you know that 10 minutes from now, another rush of chaos is coming. This feels like that sort of lull in activity for you. And whether this is in your life generally, it's at home, it's at work, it's at school, it's whatever, it feels like there's a break. Yeah, there's a little bit of space, there's a window. I'm thinking 2 weeks, right? It's that 2-week vacation. Use it. Use it. Okay. Fine. And whether this might not be as obvious as it looks on paper, right? Paper cards. It might not literally be, hey, the pressure cooker is over. You've just got to sit underneath the shade of the tree for a while, and then you're back to work. It may not be that sort of distinct, right? But the Eight of Pentacles is telling us to find ways that we can pull our energy back, that there are some things in your life that you're involved with that don't need your constant attention. Micromanagement hovering sort of over it. Just pull back away from it and let it do its thing. The watched pot never boils, right? While you're heating up the water, go relax. Go drink a glass of water or something, right? Some self-care. That's the message of the Queen of Cups here. That we've got to pull our attention inward. It's a shift of perspective a little bit. Okay, because you're so attentive to everything outside of you, which is this card, that now we need to lift the veil of our own emotion and say, what do I need right now? This is this is someone that like is at home and like the kids are off to school and everybody else is off to work or whatever, and it's just like, well, what am I going to do? Now I've got 3 hours of my day. What am I going to do with these 3 hours? So we're just anxious, nervous, and keeping ourselves busy rather than thinking, okay, well, what I can do is I can exercise, I can rest, I can eat something healthy for my body, I can read some inspiring things, I can listen to music, I can dance, I can take myself out and treat myself to something, right? I can read that book, that nonsense fiction, I can indulge in something, right? We can take these self-care things, these ideas, right? We can do something and we have to lift that veil of our own emotions and wonder, like, what's inside of me? What do I really want right now? What does my soul really need? What's my body telling me? What's my heart telling me? Okay? Because this card is the surface level first, right? The surface of the water, it's reflecting. That we're just sort of, whatever anybody is sending our way, we're reflecting it right back. We're just immediately reacting to the needs of other people. Boom, boom, boom. It's automatic, right? Well, if we sort of pull back from that, we go a little deeper. We're in the shallow end of the pool. And in the shallow end, it's like, okay, I'm just going to do what feels good. I'm going to have pleasure, and I'm going to reduce pain. And sometimes that's what we need, right? Sometimes we just got to do something that feels good and try to get rid of something that's making us feel bad. But then we go even deeper than that. And we think, what does my soul really need for restoration and rejuvenation? Yeah. Beyond the surface level, beyond the shallow end stuff, what do I really, really need? What is my soul yearning for right now? Because this is the opportunity where you can, at the very least, you can pull some of your attention back and shine it inside to see what those answers might be. Okay? So we've got fire. We definitely have water, 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 water. These are about emotional needs and feelings and things going on inside, sensations even in the body, right? We've got a little bit of air up here. And we've got just this little bit of earth back there, okay? And the earth is kind of, it's being covered up now. And especially these two cards together saying we don't want to overwater the garden here. We need to use this, we could do something else with this water. Let's conserve water. Too much water on the plant's going to kill the plants anyway. Let's drink some of the water. Let's wash some things with the water. Let's do some, maybe there's some other plants in your garden that need a little bit of attention. Maybe the Eight of Pentacles is saying that you spend all of your time growing the external gardens, but what about the gardens of your soul? What things are in you that need some attention, that need some love? This is the card of radical self-acceptance, radical self-care, and self-love. And this is the name of the game for you, okay? We've got the Princess of Swords at the top here, which I think is part of our mental energy that is always looking for something to do, always kind of, always focused outward, kind of looking, okay, what can I get involved with, right? This is somebody that is very intellectually curious. This is a mind, right? The Princess of Swords is always looking to get involved in something, always wants to know, always wants to gossip and get in the mix and learn, right? And kind of, but it's an external focus sometimes, right? It's kind of it's our mind that just is restless. It's kind of our mind sitting here with the jazz hands, tap dancing on the shag carpet. Let's fix something. Let's look for a problem. Let's get involved in something out there. And I think that coupled with our Eight of Wands here, it may be saying that we need to calm this thing down a little bit. Calming that thing down, calming the restless mind down. Maybe this is a chance for some meditation. Okay. Now there is an L name person in your life that is very significant. I don't know who the L person is, but that might be somebody that does require a lot of your attention. Maybe. Okay. I think these two cards together also, like I said, radical self-acceptance. That we're looking at ourselves, it's kind of, we're looking in the metaphorical mirror and we're appreciating what we see and we're taking care of what we see, right? And it's the way we might look in the mirror and think, gosh, I've got to, I'm getting gray hairs here, getting older. I got to be kind to myself. I've got to take care of myself. We've got to, we've got to wash our face and put moisturizer on. You know what I mean? We can't neglect our own needs. And I don't just mean physically. We don't want to neglect our own gardens because we're very busy putting our energy outside, taking care of other people and other things and other activities and other whatever, which is a very wonderful way to be. Giving yourself to everything outside is great and very noble, right? But we need the self-care too, okay? We need the self-care. And the thing is, you want to be consistent with the Eight of Pentacles, not just consistent with the things outside of you, but be very consistent with your self-care. It's not enough to just put the moisture on once, you know what I mean? You got to make it a habit of self-care. Right? Stay consistent. Maybe we're starting a new health routine. Maybe we're starting this thing that says, you know what, 1 day a week for 1 hour, I'm going to go do something just for me. I'm going to go do something that makes my soul feel restored. Maybe that's going to grow into a longer period of time. But I feel like you've got the time, you've got a moment now, or we're finding the moments where we can pull some of this energy in and at least have that conversation with ourselves. Okay? Now, the pressure cooker behind you, this is the blacksmith's anvil. This is when we're out there with life and life is banging us around with a hammer. This is the pressure cooker, right? And I think that you're emerging from this pressure cooker. It's almost a completion of a cycle, perhaps. That maybe you're kind of realize, okay, I did that. Now I can enjoy. Now I can rest and enjoy what I've built before starting the next intense activity that's going to require your courage, your bravery, your discipline, and your self-sacrifice. See, when we're here, when in the pressure cooker, I'm not really thinking about my hair. I'm not thinking about my moisturizer. I don't use moisturizer as much as I should either. Come to think of it. So, when we're in this, when life is banging us around, when we're so busy with the things we have to do in life, we neglect a big portion of what we need, And I don't just mean physically, but physically too. Physically too. And emotionally and mentally and spiritually. So this is a time of self-care, self-acceptance, lifting the veil, emotional transparency with ourselves and, perhaps communicating that to others if we need to. But this is telling me that, we've been through a very difficult and challenging time where you were probably a lot busier. There was an excess here, right? There was an imbalance where it was, life was way too busy. Like I was involved in way too many things. There was too much going on that I felt like I didn't have time to be focused on the other stuff too, to make kind of keep me whole, And so I feel as if this kind of busyness, this excess of pressure, let's say, from life, is giving way, or we are putting it behind us enough that we can open up the door to ourselves internally. Okay, and that Ace of Cups underneath this is kind of this is saying I have to value myself. This is kind of this is us looking deep down into our soul and really realizing what I need fundamentally. What is that spiritual source for me that's going to restore me? Maybe I just need some ice cream and a hot bath. Yeah, okay. Try that. Do it. I might try it. But beyond that, what do I really need? Is it some kind of a deeper love that I need? Is it a deeper satisfaction? Is it some kind of a connection? Is it a spiritual connection? What is that fundamental thing that you maybe feel that you haven't been able to connect with in yourself? Right, because of the pressures coming from the outside world, right? There is a chance with these cards too that you have perhaps a chronic health condition. I'm not diagnosing anything. It's not a medical reading. I'm not qualified for that, right? This is for entertainment. There's a chance that you have a chronic health condition, and it's time for you to realize that that needs your attention. Regardless of the demands placed on you from everybody else, everywhere else, everything else, you've got needs that you've got to address. Okay, it's something you already know about. If that's meant for you, it's something you already know about, and you have to be able to focus on that. Okay, and that's going to lead obviously to a more robust, a more passionate experience of life. Okay, yeah, we're going to be back dealing with the pressures of life. You're not giving up on life. You're not. It's not a retirement, right? It's a little bit of a pause, perhaps. It's just maybe a pulling back of some of our energies that are going outside, pulling some of them back to focus on what we need to focus on inside. Again, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or all of the above. The Ace of Cups is saying that you value yourself. You are worth the attention. Okay? You absolutely deserve and have a right to care about yourself and prioritize yourself a little bit. Okay? In the future position, that Leo energy, that lust or strength card is very robust. It's a courage. It's a capability. It's a fire. It's a passion. To me, it kind of feels like it's a more balanced approach to life that leads to a better experience of life itself. So it may be that we're kind of back in the pressure cooker again, right? I'm taking care of the needs. I'm being courageous. I'm out here in the world, taking care of business and doing what I need to do, responding to the pressures coming in. But I'm doing it with a stronger sense of self-worth, a stronger sense of power, a stronger sense of confidence, and a robustness, right? A vitality that maybe we feel was draining away a little bit back here because of the imbalance, that we weren't balancing internal and external pressures enough. Okay, so in other words, someone who has a chronic health condition, but they're ignoring it because they're doing too much stuff out here, and that they're going to feel that chronic health condition is not going to get any better if we don't do something about it, if we don't focus on it and give ourselves the attention that we need. Okay, and again, I'm not predicting anything like that. I think if it's there, you know about it, right? There's some kind of turquoise jewelry that's important to you or your family. It's silver. It's like a silver design, and then there's some turquoise. And I don't know if it's something around the neck. I feel like I don't think it's a belt, but it kind of looks like a belt. But I think it's a necklace. It's a detail that comes through, and sometimes these details are just meant for certain people out there, not for everybody. If it's not your detail, don't worry about it. It's meant to sort of confirm the energy we're in and kind of ground the reading for some people, okay, that need that. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. The readings are totally free. Your general energy is the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is someone who is understands their job, understands their role in life, understands what they're committed to, what they're loyal to. They have a devotion towards something, right? Sometimes this is the card of family. Could be that you're taking care of everybody else in your family, but your needs are going unmet, right? Or we're taking some steps right now in order to prevent our needs from going unmet. Okay. This is also the card of a health. This is a card of a commitment to our own well-being. Okay. This represents a commitment to health. Yeah. And right now this Chariot has stopped. It's paused. We didn't get out of the Chariot. We didn't take the armor off. We're not quitting. We're not giving up and throwing our stuff down and saying, I'm going home. No, we're here, but we're pausing now because, what? Maybe we need a snack. Maybe the sphinxes are tired and they need to rest a little bit. We're taking care of what we need to take care of so that we can continue being the vehicle of our destiny, so that we can continue being loyal and devoted to our lives and the people that depend on us. And in order to do that, we have to pause and take care of ourselves. Otherwise, there will be no Chariot. Okay. And the Four of Cups, I think, is a wonderful card of sort of pausing a little bit. The Four of Cups is an emotional stability. It's, in a way, it kind of feels as if we've made a little bit of a pit stop in life. This is the card where I usually say it's like we've taken our sailboat into a nice safe harbor, and we've anchored it, and we're going to patch all the holes, we're going to fix the sails, right? And so sometimes it's the storm shelter. Sometimes this is a pause. Sometimes work gets so busy you got to go in the bathroom and hide for a few minutes, the stress, it gets to us and we need a little bit of a timeout. And this emotional timeout is not supposed to be a permanent place. It's not saying that, look, it's not us quitting the job. It's not us leaving the family, abandoning our responsibilities. But for a moment, we're making a pit stop. I'm taking a time out. I'm going to go be by myself for a little while and try to fix the holes in the boat and fix the sails. Okay? And then once we do that, no holes in the boat, boat's not sinking, right? It's time to get back to our lives. It's time to re-engage with life, right? The Four, any of the Fours, is a temporary thing. Anytime we get the Four, we start looking for the Five. It's time to re-engage again, eventually, right? So I feel like this is a pause for you to sort of figure out what's going on inside and to rebalance your life, do the self-care, the self-love, and the self-acceptance kind of stuff, and figure out how to move forward in life with that new sort of balance. Okay? And this might feel to other people, this is the card that's in the position of your relationships and your environment, it may feel to other people as if you've gone a little cold toward them. Okay? Well, anytime you cut off the tap, or anytime you sort of close the tap a little bit, other people are going to notice. That you always have this very supportive energy, you're always doing everything for everybody, and once you pull that back even a little bit, people will notice. Right? When you take some time to focus your energy inward and love yourself a little bit, people are going to feel as if you've pulled your heart away from them. And I don't know why it works that way, but it does. And they may say, well, what's wrong? Are you mad at me? Do you not like me anymore? What's with the cold shoulder? What's with the distance? You feel like you're being very distant lately. Because you may very well be. You may have to distance yourself from what's going on so you can just lay on the grass and watch the garden grow. And it's just like, I'm not angry at anybody. See, this is a card, we're not upset about anything. I'm just centering, I'm just grounding myself in a way, right? This is a Four. It's about grounding. How are we going to emotionally ground ourselves? Well, maybe we need some boundaries. Maybe we need some time where we can just sit quietly with ourselves, and we don't have to explain anything to anybody. We don't have to do anything for anybody. We don't have to respond to any energy coming toward us. And very often this is like the person at work that has to go hide in the bathroom for 10 minutes because it's getting too peoply out there, and this is okay. And this is how we're going to sort of balance ourselves, ground ourselves, stabilize, get centered. Yeah. Now, the Princess of Cups in the position of the obstacle is, well, when you're in this position, you're doing the self-care and you're lying underneath the tree and you're relaxing and it's all good. You're going to feel an emotional pull. This is just like we had the Princess of Swords was like, I want to go do something. I want to go, let me think about a bunch of things. And our mind is like a monkey jumping around, right? Well, our heart's going to do that too. Our heart's going to say, wow, now that I actually get a moment to myself, my heart is suddenly like desiring all these things. I realize all the things I want in life now, and we may have a realization that, wow, I've got a lot of desires here. There are a lot of things I want in life. Okay, so it's kind of like once we give space for our emotions to come out of hiding, right? They're going to all come out all at once. It's going to be a rush of energy, and I think we're going to get right back to our Eight of Wands. It's going to sort of push us in so many different directions. So I think the obstacle here is kind of being able to differentiate some of these feelings that we have. Some of these are surface level and shallow end desires. Oh gosh, I got some time to myself. I just want to eat a bunch of ice cream. You know, nobody's here to bug me. I just want to indulge. I want to lay on the bed, watch TV, and eat ice cream, right? Maybe that's what we're going to do. But I think that's only going to satisfy us for a short time and not really all that well, right? So we're trying not to be driven or directed or controlled by our whimsical dalliances, our fantasies, our desires, our immediate gratification desires, right? We're trying to go with the more mature Queen of Cups, yeah, in order to figure out what we really need to implement in our lives and what's going to really create a more balanced star, right? We think of the pressure cooker, the pressure coming from outside. It needs to be equal to the pressure coming from inside, that I'm pushing back against that gravity. That's what a star does, right? It pushes out to resist all the mass, the gravity of that mass that's pushing inward. Okay? And that's how we create equilibrium. And I feel like that's what we're doing with the Eight of Wands. This is a surge now of confidence. This is us pushing back against the world and keeping a distance, keeping boundaries, and forcing space into our own life for ourselves. This is, again, it's kind of like we're right back in the busy, the busy lifestyle, right back in the pressure cooker. But now I figured out what I need to do so that I can push back against that pressure. What if the pressure cooker back here, this was so bad that eventually the gravity of it will crush us? If there's no internal pressure to resist the external pressure, right, it's going to crumple us. We're going to collapse into a white dwarf or a neutron star. I don't know what it is when they kind of contract like that. But we also don't want to go supernova. We don't want a tower moment, right? We don't want to feel such pressure that one day we just kind of blow up. We just say, I had enough, and it just becomes a disaster. So I think we're taking the time out now to figure out what we really need, how we need to rebalance life a little bit, focus on our self-care, and equalize that pressure, and make sure that we're pushing back enough to keep our bubble of space, to make sure that we are claiming time and space for ourselves, for our own soul, our own emotions, our own needs and desires for life, right? In a way that's equal and manageable and fair to other people for the most part, and it's all relative. But let's look at the mystery card. Will it be that Sun card? Will it be a deeper water card, cup card, 10, 9, 10 of cups? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. It might even be the Hermit. Queen of Wands. Look at that, Queen of Wands. I think you like to be busy. You like to be in the fire. You like to have things to do. You like to be the boss. This is somebody that feels at home being busy, doing the thing that we're doing. Like if I don't have anything to do, I get restless. I get anxious, right? But this is somebody now that understands that about themselves, and maybe we're admitting that I like to be busy, I like to have a lot of things to do, but I also know that I need to take care of me so that I can keep doing this. This is somebody that is doing it just because they like to do it. Not because there's some goal, but because this is the function of life. This is where I feel the most satisfied. I don't want any of that extreme water energy because it's going to put out the fire. But we've got an inner satisfaction being involved and taking care of response. You like to be the one that does everything. You know what I mean? I think it feels good. It feels creative. It feels like you have the control. I think you like it. Okay, but only if it's a balanced Only if it's a balanced thing. Only if there's enough time and space for you so that you can maintain this. The inner fuel. This is a card of water, right? Surrounded by fire. It's a Queen of Wands, right? It's water of fire. Just as the Queen of Cups is water of water. Deep in the emotions here. This is sort of saying like there's water inside that is fueling the fire on the outside, so that I can continue to be part of life and interact with life and live life the way I want to. Engaged in all of the aspects of life that you're engaged in. Okay? But you're finding that source of fuel. And maybe this is about replenishing that fuel. Okay? This is a very confident, very active person. This is somebody who, yeah, a lot of people rely on you. It's a leadership kind of card. Okay, I feel like that you're in your zone with this one. Yeah, I like it. I think this is really, really good, because this again kind of shows that we are finding a way to we're getting out of the pressure cooker, we're recharging our batteries, and we're going back in with this very robust and vital energy. Yeah, and I think that's wonderful. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do some oracle cards. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. There's a link in the corner, and there's a link down below. New readings for Virgo on Tuesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. The readings are free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.